And welcome to a tremendous Tuesday. Good morning, gentlemen.
So we're running.
Big day yesterday. Super.
What day isn't big with you? Would be my follow-up to that statement.
I will tell you, yesterday was a big day, though, man. We did a lot,
Right.
Which we will share shortly. We're off to a crazy start this morning. I'll wait till some people show up, and then I will share the story of how crazy it was.
So I think you come from a different world, and I think people don't understand this. In football, it's constant chaos. And I remember I used to work for Coach McElwain, and everything he did was controlled chaos. Because if it was crazy during the week, then it would be easy on game day. So I kind of operate in this fluid state where things aren't perfect all the time, and it's okay. So that's one of the valuable things I've learned coming from the football world is not everything is going to be perfect. I don't really expect it to be perfect. So when it's not perfect, it is okay. Obviously, you strive for that, knowing that you'll just find excellence along the way.
So for me, being a process and order guy, so let me share this story with everybody. First of all, some big hellos. Jay Amaro coming to us from Puerto Rico.
Oh, yeah.
He was part of our Aflac event yesterday. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Michelle Portoff is here. Good morning. Mary Beth, today is our day. We get to spend the one-on-one time. But here's the story. So Sunday, it was laying around. It was a lazy Easter Sunday. I wrote Monday's Huddle and Tuesday's Huddle. Did the research, was so jammed and so excited about sending the show notes to Shay because it's a really cool show. I go to bed at 9 o'clock, which I do regularly. Woke up in the middle of the night, saw that my phone was flashing. I looked at it. Shay sends me a note and says, that National Day is actually Thursday. And he said it in a way like research shows that that's Thursday. So
thank you, Shay, for making sure that we are on the right day and doing the right things.
Oh, no, I was trying, and then I was dissecting. I was trying to go in and find some cool things that we could do.
So I was like, oh, shit. But as you would expect and come to expect from me, got up my normal time and rewrote today's show. So Thursday's show is already in the can. Fantastic. I'm excited about that. Do not miss Thursday. It's a lot of fun. Today, we are going to do something unique or not so unique. I love this kind of show. It's Huddle Headlines. But first, shout out to yesterday's people who interacted with me. On the left, Manish, who is the CEO of Peak Activity. What an unbelievable conversation. That was the best coffee meeting I've had in recent memory. Got to hear his story. A Boca kid who found entrepreneurship early in his life. Really fun. We will do some tremendous things together. And then in the afternoon, I welcomed the big part of big Aflac region to learn LinkedIn like a pro. Spent some great time with them. They learned, they listened. The questions were amazing. They were so engaged. And Jake, it's fascinating to me, Jake and Shay, it's fascinating to me that learn LinkedIn like a pro still has really strong legs.
Yeah, nothing's changed. The environment is, equally as crazy, and people need to be using virtual to make connections. So I think it's as relevant as ever. It will continue to be as relevant as ever. So it's good that we're continuing to spread the gospel.
We have the basics, which are set in stone. Those don't really change the process. And then there's little new tidbits that LinkedIn's coming out with, which we went through the notifications and things like that. So
super fun, super exciting, super crazy day. Was really out of gas at the end.
But an hour to get the Boca this morning.
Jeff Bishop, you got that right. It was jeans and white shirt day, which for me, I can wear jeans and a white shirt every day. I think it's a great look. Fantastic stuff. So let's get to Huddle music. Let the wake up music. Then we'll do Huddle headlines. There's so much going on in the news that's going to blow your mind. Let's get to it.
Wake up, everybody! have to say. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. No more doctor thinking. Time for thinking ahead. Come on now.
All right, here we go. So Randy Ostrow, thank you. You are not the only one that noticed. I have had unbelievable feedback from Jake running co-pilot with me. I've loved it. It's been great. We got a couple of more days. And then Sunday, Jake and I are actually traveling to Kansas City. Monday morning, I'll be doing the keynote for the Midas convention. So I kick it off. But I'm super excited. Let's get to headline news and you'll see why it matters. I love the music for that segment. That's actually really cool. Here's the first headline.
I love all of our segments.
And you cannot deny it because it's the first time in almost 3 years. Show me. Federal judge strikes down mask mandate for planes and public transit. That means if you're on a train, you're in a bus, you're in an Uber, anywhere you go, you no longer need to wear a mask. Now, there were people singing yesterday. There are, now, interestingly enough, I watched the story this morning from Reagan Airport. Most of the people who were in Reagan Airport were still wearing masks. Jake, give me your take.
Look, so we were watching the news. I'm not a big news guy. Don't think a lot of it is good, healthy, makes you a better person. It's mostly negative. We were watching the news a couple weeks ago, and I know that Heathrow, the airport in London, had done the same thing, and it led to massive cancellations of flights, no members, people were getting sick, and it was a bad thing. So I hope it doesn't lead to that. I know that is a case study that you use, and usually it will repeat itself, but I hope it doesn't affect our flights. Because if you told me my flight would be on time, if I wore a mask, I'd wear a mask. But I continue to trust whatever the doctors tell us to do. I'm not smarter than science, so I hope we don't get sick is my goal.
Obviously, I hope we don't get sick either, but being vaccinated, double vaccinated, prepared, eating good, taking care of myself, I feel like I've done the right job of protecting myself. They say on the plane, the air circulates better than it does anywhere else on the planet. So it's crazy. So Gary gets it right. Nobody knows what the hell's going on. So American Airlines yesterday said, you still got to wear your masks, and people were revolting. So what are you talking about?
Well, so I just read that the New York Metro said it still must wear a mask. Like, I think they have bigger issues than just masks going on in New York.
So in New York, this is fantastic. In New York, all state-owned or state-operated transportation, you still have to wear a mask. So, here's the thing. I think it should be an individual decision. If you're afraid of getting sick, wear a mask. If you don't,
you wear a mask. It's not going to hurt you. It'll be interesting. I'm excited to see people's face freely. I miss that on airplanes, the people watching and the interaction. I think it still, suffocates the interaction that can happen. But it would be interesting. I won't be wearing a mask.
You will not be wearing a mask?
I think it's hypocritical for me to go to a nightclub or to go out to dinner and live my life normal every day and then go say I'm going to wear a mask. If they tell me that's what I need to do, I'm going to do it. But I think it's a little hypocritical for me to then put on a mask and be like, I'm so scared.
So here's the hypocritical part to me. I could be sitting next to someone who is eating peanuts one at a time.
Right.
It takes them 3 hours to eat a bag of peanuts.
Right, and I think you talk about, like you say, the airplane. I think the airport is really where most of the things will get passed around, not the air on an airplane. So it'll be not wearing it, but it's like toothpaste. Like, I don't know. Every doctor has a different opinion on what's their favorite toothpaste.
So I'm a fan of freedom of choice. So Amanda, I think, gets it right. Make up your own opinion. If you don't want to wear it, listen, I go into the supermarket and there's still people wearing masks. If they think they're high risk or that's what they want to do. Shay, do you have an opinion?
Yeah, so I'm, in the school of, my wife obviously immunocompromised, and then the baby and stuff like that. So when we go out, we do rock it from time to time, or we'll make a group decision, because it would look weird if I wasn't wearing one, the rest of the family's wearing one. So group decision. If we're in and out, we'll pop it on real quick or not pop it on. So
Well, it's funny. So I remember flying right before the pandemic started. I went to Colorado in March of, what was that? Would have been 2020. I don't know. The years are all, yeah. So 20. And I remember there was one lady wearing a mask in front of me when masks weren't a thing, and it was so weird to see her wearing one. So it'll be interesting to see how people look at other people. You shouldn't judge. Just live your life. Give a shit what other people do.
Now, the last thing I'll say about this,
it's nice to have the option to go either way.
So there was somebody who booked travel with their kid who was too young to be vaccinated, and they're on a plane today going, hey, WTF, man, now everybody, it's a free-for-all. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. Shay, show me the next one, which is, if you have not heard of this term, this is why we do this here. The term is called job fished. And this is the con that tricked dozens into working for a fake design agency. There's an agency called Mad Bird, and the gentleman who put this thing together, his name is Ali Ayad. And basically what he did was he had these open Zoom calls where he welcomed people to what was supposedly this monster agency, and he faked out all these people to basically do work for 6 months without getting paid.
Right, based on commission, and then promised them big bonuses, big salary packages, big benefits. It's sad that people resort to this in their life and feel the need to do this, because I know in the article I read that it was a lot of people who had lost their job during the pandemic and were very gullible. But it's crazy in this virtual world. You have to watch out for what people are going to do, because the possibilities of fraud are endless.
It's scary that, this is the kind of shit that happens on a regular basis. It's amazing.
If you read the email, if you read the article, they literally just got an email that said, I'm sorry to inform you that everything you've done has been fake. Yeah. And one day, so terrible, like I said, I like to focus on the good happening in the world.
And Gottwald, good to have you back. Now, show me the next headline, which is unbelievable. So Jerry and Rita Alter, how an ordinary New Mexico couple pulled off a $150 million art heist. These people were considered extravagant, eccentric, whatever.
New Age Bonnie and Clyde.
They hold on, it was just unbelievable. Well, the guy dies. The wife had died years before, or vice versa, and the local antique people go in to assess their stuff, and hanging over their bedroom was a $150 million painting that was cut out of a museum 15, 20 years ago that no one ever knew where it went. The case died. They didn't know where it went. So it's it was a William de Kooning painting called Women Ochre. New York Post posted the whole thing today. It was a 1955 painting. And if you're interested in hearing more of that story, there is a documentary coming up called The Thief Collector, which we'll actually talk about.
This screams Netflix story reenactment.
Absolutely, totally. Then in the news, and this is why you watch sports, you cannot make this shit up. Shay, show me the video.
Slices one deep left center field. Freddie Freeman hits his first home run as a Dodger in his first at bat against the Braves.
So you can't make this stuff up. Freddie Freeman, if you don't know his story, grew up in California. His mom died of cancer. His dad quit his job to help him become the baseball player that he is. He gets drafted. He goes on to play for the Atlanta Braves, does great, wins a World Series. He's the top of the world, free agency. Boom, he gets to go back home to where he grew up. And on his first at-bat as a Dodger against the Atlanta Braves, which is where he used to play. The guy cracks a home run. Go tell me that isn't scripting.
Yeah, look, it's the storybook, the Disney movie, the Remember the Titans. It's it's why we watch sports. It's why we love it. Good for Freddie Freeman.
Well, the cool
sorry
part
for the Brave fans.
Pregame, his son, because he's recently fresh off a World Series win and has got all the teammates. So they were on the field, and his young son runs over to Dansby Swanson, who's the shortstop, jumps up with a big hug, and then runs back to his dad and the wife and the kids. So
sports delivers these moments on a regular basis. So you just got to keep your eyes open, pay attention. We got some other really cool things coming up, things that make you go, But first, one of my favorite songs from a great artist, John Legend. Give me Who Done That to You.
This song is from the film Django Unchained. It's called Who Did That to You? Come on. Yeah. Now I'm not afraid to do the Lord's work. He said vengeance is his, but I'ma do it first. I'm gonna handle my business, gonna lay down the law. Oh, yeah. Now he made you cry, oh, I gotta know. If he's not ready to die, you best prepare for it. You better look for a lifeline, but who can you call? Hey, you better call the police, call the coroner, call them your blues at the warrior. Won't be no peace when I find that boy.
What a classic movie. What a great song. What a great artist. Hopefully you sing that all day long. So, Shay, give me things that make you go, Maybe.
Things that make you
Things that make you go.
things that make you yeah.
I love this segment. So first thing is, isn't it funny that Apple is advertising its job? So they are looking to hire people, and they're doing it on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is owned by Microsoft, their competitor.
Oh, right. I'm sure I'm sure their competitor is very happy to have them advertising on there, right? So they do work together, and there are, some competitors who have to use the opponent's systems to succeed as well. So that's fine.
So here's another doozy. Show me a picture of this person's inbox.
I don't think I have it here. Hold on.
It's one of those days, folks.
Man, it's in the file. Anyway, there's a picture that I wanted to show you. That's a picture of someone's inbox that has 158,000. Shay's gone. So it's just typical. That's 150. That's 158,000.
So I would like to hear the people from the huddle and from the gallery. Do people allow their messages to run on? And because I know people who have 500 text messages that are unread. They look at them, but don't ever really clean them up. I know that it's like my house, like clutter freaks me out. So my desktop, my phone, all the things have to be clean. So that's one of the things I go through the inbox regularly, usually at the end of the day or the beginning of the day. That kind of either closes, gives me some finality of just cleaning everything up and being prepared.
Okay, Shay, what's the story? You do not have it?
Yeah, no, it's not downloading for some reason.
Okay, well, for whatever reason, today it's just that kind of day.
It's one of those
That
days.
was my point. Things that make you go home. You want to know something? You want to know one quick tip on how to be better 1% every day? Clear your freaking inbox, man. Answer emails.
It's like
Answer
making your bed.
Here's another one. Do you have Jesse's comment?
No, it's not. Nothing's downloading on my end. It's something.
Okay, very nice.
something's screwy.
Okay, do you have the question I wanted to ask about the casino?
Nothing.
Shay. Okay. All right.
Great. So tell us, what's the question?
Okay, here's the question. Your partner brings you to a casino. So I want you to imagine I take you both to a casino and I give you $50 to gamble with.
Okay.
You win $100,000 with that. How much do you give me back?
I win 100. So what's my
You
tax?
win 100,000.
So hypothetically, do I have to pay in the tax? So I've done this. Like this has actually happened in our friend group. We all spot each other money, and you go big. If you win $100,000 off $50, I'd hit a heater.
So here's the question. Here's
$5,000.
multiple choice. Do you give me 0? Do you give me 1,000? Do you give me my 50 back, or do you give me 50,000?
I give you $5,000.
You give me $5,000. So what's your reasoning?
It's 5% of my winnings.
Okay.
And I would have had none of it, and it seems like a good number. I don't have a lot of math behind it. It's a number that wouldn't hurt, I don't think. Like nothing. You didn't do anything. You gave me $50, and I was only going to give back to you anyways. So it was my money.
It's a great question, because if I give you 50, the only thing I'm really due back is my 50.
Split it. I'm not splitting it. Splitting it.
So
no matter how much I love you.
look at this. So this is great. Come on, Huddle. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
So D says half.
I was going to put the 50 up anyway. So I just didn't have the 50 on me, and I borrowed it. I was going to give him 50. I was zeroed anyway.
Jake, you run into this playing poker and stuff. When you get the high hand, like you're getting the high hand, people are sitting at the table offering you money.
Right.
For
Or what do you give to the dealer that deals you a blackjack hand? Or what do you? Yeah. I think it's very similar, because if for those who play poker, you want high hands, and they're responsible for dealing you the hand and are expecting a big tip.
So it's a great question. It was sent to me by Maria Palmagero, who is fantastic friend up in West Palm at Quantum House. But if you think about it, I did not gamble the 50, so all I'm entitled to is to get my 50 back.
What is it right to give them? They didn't bet it. They weren't betting it. They weren't taking on the risk. Is for me. It's your partner. We didn't bet. No. They didn't give me the money. I just needed $50. I could have gone to McDonald's and bought 50 McDoubles and handed them $50 back. You guys are nice people. I would love to be friends with you, and I will lend out $50 to all of you to go gamble if you're going to pay me back.
So, Coach Mike, look at you. It does sound like a curve. This is fantastic. I want you to take this question and ask everybody that you come in contact with today and see what kind of dialogue you get. It just stirs conversation.
By the way, I don't care. I'm calling bullshit on all of you people who say you're splitting.
And people
you're
run into the
handing
issue
in $50,000
when they play lottery tickets. Like if you go in like on a lottery ticket, like are you supposed to like a pool? Like
are you splitting the losses? That's all I want to know.
Whoa! Time out. So Devin gets it right. You pay it back with interest. Interest is not 1,000%.
$5,000. $5,000.
$5,000. 5 or
1,000.
I would give somebody $15,000. To me, I'm giving them 15% of what I won plus their 50 back. So I would tip somebody.
You got 5% for doing nothing but giving me them. Like, great, that's a win.
So Todd Stevens, who I haven't seen in a while, what if he loses and you don't get your $50 back? It's like, you owe me $100,000 because you could have won 100.
It's a terrific Tuesday. I hope that you go win $100,000 at the casino, and I'm the one to give you $50. But that's probably not going to happen. So let's get down to business.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business.